What's up everybody and welcome to another video. In today's video I am flipping my beautiful stitch steel alien, but I wanted to talk a little bit about stuff that I've been hearing about and dealing with, and this is obviously a problem that people have had with YouTube for honestly quite some time now, and that is YouTube striking videos and striking channels of people that are flipping balisongs or using balisongs, and striking down those videos and like demonetizing channels and stuff. And honestly, it's a really big problem. It's really annoying. It's something that I think I've seen a lot of people have had to deal with, and I wanted to talk a bit about it because honestly it has me extremely confused, because I personally haven't had to deal with it whatsoever, and I genuinely don't know why. The thing that I find extremely weird is that I have had to deal with like demonetization stuff before for other reasons, usually copyright related reasons, but I have so far, as I'm aware, never had a video become demonetized simply because I'm flipping balisongs, and I genuinely don't know what the difference is, and I think it might literally just be that YouTube feels more free to bully smaller creators, or more accurately, I think that the content moderation policies are more lenient for smaller creators. And what I mean by that is, like, if you are a smaller creator and you get someone reporting your video, you know, maybe you get like 200 to 300 views on your video. Well, if 3 people report your video for having violent, dangerous stuff in it, well then suddenly that's a actually relatively large percentage of the audience in terms of YouTube's eyes that is reporting the video. Therefore, you know, if people are reporting your video for that reason, then your video might end up getting taken down before anybody actually physically sees it or reviews it. My friend Ethan over at the Blade Bias podcast and at Camaro EE on YouTube had this problem, and annoyingly actually talked to YouTube directly about it. He actually like messaged them, and they said, well, we had a human look at it and they determined that what you were doing was dangerous, even though he was using a trainer, and even though the policy for danger is specifically endangering a minor. Like, you're allowed to do dangerous acts if it's to an adult. So I genuinely don't know. I think it's a big problem with YouTube, and unfortunately YouTube is the best platform for doing this kind of stuff. And so I genuinely don't know if it's just because smaller creators have a harder time making these videos, or if there's something in specific that they're doing that are getting these videos taken down, or copyright strikes and you know, community guidelines strikes are happening. But I genuinely don't know. I will say, however, that I have noticed a number of people who are minors coming to me and saying, hey, you know, I was uploading stuff to YouTube and it got taken down, like, what's up? And at that point, I will say, unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, if you are a minor on YouTube, that's just kind of the nature of it. You're really not supposed to be uploading YouTube videos at all until you're not a minor anymore, especially if you plan on monetizing them or anything like that. And so, you know, to some degree, that kind of stuff is unfortunate, because like, I don't think there's really anything that can be done about it. YouTube is this giant conglomerate that we have no control over, but it does scare me as a content creator, especially now as a content creator who, like, my livelihood at this point literally depends on YouTube. Whereas before, you know, YouTube was a fun hobby. Now it's like I, you know, put so much of my effort and work into working at YouTube and doing stuff for YouTube on YouTube. And if YouTube overnight decides to, you know, change their policy, and suddenly all of my stuff is not monetizable, and all of the stuff I've worked for to gain an audience and create all of this content, that would like evaporate overnight, which is truthfully terrifying. Like, that's not something that I would want to have happen whatsoever, and I can definitely understand why it's extremely frustrating to the smaller creators that have had to deal with this stuff. But my suggestion is definitely, whenever you get a strike or something like that, you know, if you are actually in the right, definitely reach out to YouTube about it and just try to see if you can get some human behind the keyboard to potentially reverse one of their content moderation decisions. Unfortunately, it's a really mixed bag as to whether or not anything like that is ever going to work, and usually it doesn't, but it's worth a shot, I think. It's worth at least trying and saying, hey, you know, this is an inaccurate thing. This isn't what I was doing. I don't think this reflects, you know, YouTube's content moderation policies properly, and I think this is an incorrect usage of the moderation principles. I was not endangering any minors or doing anything really dangerous in my video, and you know, I would just go from there, because I don't know, truthfully, it's just really, really frustrating and really, really disappointing, and there really isn't much advice I can give to people that's like, oh yeah, just don't do this in your video, or just don't do that in your video, because truthfully, I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. And to some degree, that might be because I have been very intentional when making my videos. So here's what I do. On the main channel, when I was first getting started, first of all, the main channel is a very old channel, so I think that having a channel that's existed for a while usually is better than creating a brand new channel in terms of how YouTube works, just because, I don't know, there might be some sort of trust factor behind your account or something that you're not uploading spam on a regular basis. But what I've done since the beginning is I've been very clear to attempt to make sure that YouTube doesn't market my content towards children. Now, do I think children should be allowed to flip? Well, sure, yeah, if their parents want them to. Should children be allowed to flip live blades? That is a much more contentious topic, and I don't know about that. But you know, I do think flipping is a really fun hobby, and I know for a fact that there's a lot of children that are into flipping. And so with my channel, I wanted to make sure that my stuff wasn't being served to children. Instead, if children like were finding it and seeking it out and then like had their parents' permission to watch it, then they would be watching it. And so I did a few things to make sure that YouTube knew that in my videos. First of all, there's a checkbox that you can say that just says, this is not made for children. And that's a very important checkbox. Obviously, you want to make sure that that checkbox is checked, or else your content will end up on the YouTube Kids app, and it also needs to pass the YouTube Kids stringent guidelines, which are relatively complicated and, you know, pretty tight in terms of what they allow as children's content on YouTube now. And so that's the first problem. The second thing that I would do, though, is I actually wrote cursing into basically every video we upload onto our main channel. I do that pretty intentionally because you can tell YouTube, hey, there's cursing in this video when you monetize it. And YouTube, before that was even a feature, YouTube would check every video for cursing and change, you know, its suggestion algorithms based off of whether or not it detected cursing in the video. And so we intentionally curse in the videos so that they are, you know, directed at a older audience just from the get-go. Like, I think that, you know, obviously younger people can curse, but I think it makes it harder for a younger person to watch something without their parents' permission if there's a bunch of cursing in it and the parent hears that and is like, hey, what are you watching? You know? And so that was also a very distinct decision that we made, is like, there will be cursing in these videos specifically to keep YouTube from directly marketing it to children, because I think that's important. And so yeah, that's just kind of been, oh man, that's just kind of been my strategy. And to be fair, I haven't really had much of a strategy when it comes to this channel. And this kind of video where you're just flipping and talking is the one that I think most people have had problems with getting demonetized. And so honestly, I'm not totally sure, you know, what happens when it comes to that kind of thing. Like, is flipping and talking okay? Is flipping and talking not okay? Do you have to be a bigger channel? I mean, this channel didn't start out as a bigger channel. I started out as a very small channel because I literally created this one from scratch and then started working on it. And like, yeah, we get plenty of views now, but, you know, originally it wasn't getting that many views. And so I just genuinely don't know. It could be that also, it could be about the age that you made your channel at. I know that some people have had problems because they technically created their channel when they were a minor, and so by uploading on that same channel, they're having problems with it. And so if you are having that problem, it might be worth it if you're still a small enough channel, like if you have sub 100 subscribers, maybe even sub 500 subscribers, it might be worth it just to literally create a brand new channel and then create a video pointing people to that new channel, and literally create a fully brand new channel with a brand new email using your actual current, age. Because if that is the problem, if there is some sort of glitch with YouTube that, it doesn't address your birthday, it doesn't understand that people age, it may still think that you're a minor for some reason when they're trying to resolve these cases, because the flag that says you're a minor was created, when you created the account, and then for some reason it never went away. And so that's an issue that could potentially be a problem. But yeah, other than that, it just really sucks. It really sucks to see something like this happen at a platform like YouTube, which is the best platform for stuff like this. And it really sucks because there's almost nothing we can do about it. And this is a problem that I have with just like the current landscape of social media in general. And it's kind of very difficult because currently there's not really any good way to fix it, right? Like, we need some sort of centralized platform like YouTube to deliver all of this content, because otherwise there's really no way that we could, right? YouTube is incredibly expensive. It costs so much money to do everything that that they do at YouTube. They're getting petabytes of information a day. And like, that is literally insane. I don't actually know what the readout is. I just know that the actual amount of information that they're getting uploaded, not just every day, but literally like every minute, they're getting thousands of hours of video uploaded to YouTube in 4K, no less, which is huge amounts of data. And so something that I've been looking into recently, as Twitter has slowly had a collapse, is looking into decentralized social media, which is stuff like Mastodon. Mastodon is really cool because it allows you to have your own server. Essentially, Mastodon itself is just a program that you can run on a website. And so Mastodon isn't its own website. It's not a thing. It's just a program. And that program allows your website to communicate with any other website that is running the same program. And so as long as the two of you have a Mastodon program on your website, both of your websites can talk to each other. And if enough websites do that, well, suddenly you have this huge network of different websites that can talk to each other. And so that allows Mastodon to perform similar to Twitter in terms of being a social media platform. But the problem with that is that each of those websites, like your own website, if you're going to host your own social media, well, you have to have enough horsepower and space to store all of the photos and videos that you and any users that you allow on your website are going to post. And then on top of that, you have to, take all of these limits. And they cost money. It costs money for you to run a website like that. And so if you try to scale that to the scale that YouTube is at, where you decentralize the YouTube platform and then, create something where you have a video sharing service utilizing something similar to Mastodon, but you're using, video sharing instead, while that could work, it requires each individual person or each individual content creator to essentially run their own server and take all of the upfront costs and pay for all of that. And that is insanely expensive and is a very big problem overall. So yeah, I don't know. The problem is that I don't see much of an escape from YouTube. Platforms have tried to dissolve YouTube and like be better than YouTube before, and it hasn't really worked. YouTube is genuinely a very good place for creators. They've kind of proven that time and time again. So I do like YouTube, but they keep also making weird decisions that it's hard to get behind. So yeah. Anyways, this has been a really long video about YouTube demonetization. But I hope maybe something I said helps somebody out there, or I just made everybody really hopeless, and I hope I didn't do that, but maybe I did. So yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace.